What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's edition of Everyday Discipline, where we decode, deconstruct, and part 3, reverse engineer self-discipline for you to get whatever it is you want in your life. My name is Brent Kokel, and I am your host. What are we talking about really with discipline here, guys? We're talking about results. Like results. Discipline's just a vehicle. It's the thing that will get you to the thing, but you need it in order to get someplace, just like you really need to get in a car to go someplace that's like 100 miles away. Too short for an airplane, too long for feet. You need a car. It's just a vehicle. It's a vehicle that will get you anything you want. If you want to make more money, discipline's the answer. You want a better body, discipline's there. You want a better relationship, yeah, you got to have discipline. You want to understand God at a different level, it requires discipline in that as well. Speaking of that, I just finished 112 days straight in my streak of reading the Bible. I read one chapter every day. And it's really cool, the perspective shift of that. And how that changes really how I apply things in the real world out here. So in any event, that's cool for me. Here's the deal, guys. Inside of today's episode, I want to share with you a really, really powerful lesson that is going to help you solve your existing problems a lot faster with a lot less effort. And the story actually starts with a big problem that I've got in my house. We've got tons of pets. Like tons of pets, at least by city standards. And we live kind of in the suburbs, but we'll call that the city. Right now we're looking at some rural properties, like really rural, where there's cows and shit like that. And that is definitely not the city. So I consider where I live right now the city. There are like 78 houses in my neighborhood. We all have half-acre lots, and it's like the city. So in our house, we've got 2 cats and we've got 1 dog. I didn't really want any of these pets. Like I wanted none of them. It was my wife who wanted the pets. And she's very, very persuasive. In other episodes, I've told you exactly how she persuaded me specifically to get the dog and how ninja that was. And I'll let you guys listen to the other episodes for that story. But it's like, that's my wife's jam. She wanted all these 4-legged things in our house. I do like one of the cats. That cat's name is Izzy. She's a gray Scottish Straight. And she is just like, she's the queen of the house. And I like her because she only tolerates my existence. Could not give 2 shits about me or anything. Like I walk in the back door of my house from the garage and she's there and she looks at me and she was like, "How was your day?" Nope, you know what? I do not give a shit about how your day was. I'm just gonna walk away. By the way, I'm gonna show you my butthole when I walk away because I'll lift my tail up. Like that's pretty much Izzy's MO. And I do like her because of that. She doesn't need anything from me. Then the other cat, the Toby, he's a dick. He's a dick, and he's a dick for a specific reason. He's been peeing. He's been peeing in my wife's closet and my daughter's room. Now, granted, those are kind of one of the messier places in our house, both of those places. Sorry, babe. That's the truth. So in any event, the cat's been peeing in these things, and we've got all the doors closed. Like all the doors are closed during the day, and I hate that the doors are closed all the time. We've got a door closed to my daughter's room, door closed to my son's room, door closed to our room. The house always looks closed off, and I hate it. I mean, but it is better than piss on the floor, especially cat piss. I'm trying to figure out this problem because I really hate the doors closed. And then I noticed something on our dog. Our dog's got this shock collar. It's like a trainer. So if she's doing something that you don't want her to do, you push a little button on a remote control and it gives her a little buzz, right? It doesn't hurt her. It just lets her know it's there, and it creates a little bit of discomfort, which tells her, hey, maybe that's not the best thing for me to be doing. Maybe I should do something different. When you go, hit it. Then I had my light bulb moment. I said, you know what? If somebody made one of those for a dog, I'll bet you anything somebody made one of those for cats. And of course they do. So you put this little thing down, it looks like the size of a smoke detector, like it's round. You put it on the floor and it creates force field. You put the collar around the cat that will buzz when the cat gets too close to the force field. Now all the doors can be open and the cats won't go in there because they're going to be very uncomfortable getting past this force field. Here's the lesson inside of my plight of pets is that the solution's already been found. You just have to borrow it. Right? That is the lesson. The solution to whatever your problem is has already been found. You just have to go borrow it. Now, understand from like an egotistical perspective, we want to solve our own problems. We want to do something in a unique way, and we often want to start from scratch. It has to do with us feeling like we're accomplished, feeling like we did the right thing, that we did something good. But that's not really the way it works. It's not. Almost every solution is born out of something else in the market. Like almost every single one. Somebody's come up with some solution And that springboards into multiple other solutions. So here's a good example of this. Right? There were already cars on the market before Tesla showed up. There were also electric motors on the market before Tesla showed up. All Tesla did was put those two things together. And by putting those two things together, they made something actually work. It wasn't that they had to come up with a brand new solution. Granted, I'm sure there were things that they had to engineer that people hadn't figured out before, but conceptually, it was simply taking one thing that already existed in cars, taking another thing that already existed in electric motors, and putting those things together to solve the problem of the reliance on fossil fuels. I'm not here to debate how many fossil fuels are left and all that shit and all global warming and whatever they want to talk about with that. All I'm sharing is that the solution's already been found. You just have to go borrow it from another industry. Now, I'm personally doing this right now in my own business. I'm actually borrowing a solution from a credit card company in that industry as it relates to what I do in the commercial real estate industry in that company. So one of the things that we do, I noticed that it was very similar to something that credit card companies do. And that is we send our clients invoices, bills. Credit card company sends you a bill every month. We send our clients a bill every single month. And there are, I want to say something around 1,800 clients in that business. And that's 1,800 people. Now what the credit card company did, they were geniuses about this. They probably borrowed it from somebody else, but I borrowed it from them, so I don't really care where they got it. Now on every bill that goes out, there's an advertisement. That's a specific advertisement because I needed to, for me, have it be beneficial to our existing clients. That advertisement had to be beneficial to the existing clients. So I started thinking about, well, like, what does the client buy right before and right after they buy our services? That's really where I started with this. And I found a bunch of companies that did stuff that was right before our service, right after our service, that did not compete with our service. And then I sold them ad space on each one of our invoices. Credit card company will do the exact same thing, except they'll take it one step up and they'll sell your data to somebody else and let them market with it. But a lot of times you'll see stuff embedded in your credit card bill that will be an advertisement for something else. I borrowed that solution from another industry. That's what I was trying to figure out was like, how do I drive more revenue off the same amount of customers, increase my profit margins without increasing my cost basis to achieve that profit margin? And this was one of the solutions that I found. I just had to borrow it from another industry. Now, of course, the ads enhance my client's experience. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing them. But the solution was already there. I just had to borrow it from somebody else. This applies not just in business, like this applies in your body too, specifically. Like that's the next place that's easiest to measure your results. So for a long time, I was an endurance athlete. I would do Spartan races, like outdoor muddy obstacle course races, carrying heavy shit up hills, jumping over walls, stuff like that. And I didn't really love the way that my body looked because I had to run really far. Like it was an endurance race. Some of the races would be up to 17 miles running up a ski slope. And that was just, I mean, one, it was no fun. But two, it didn't really produce the body that I wanted because when you're an endurance athlete, you're really lean. Picture an Olympic marathoner right now. That's the type of body that you have when you're an endurance athlete because a marathon is an endurance sport. There's a lot of slow twitch muscle fiber, not a lot of fast twitch. So I didn't really like what I looked like. I was trying to figure out what the solution was, and I talked to a bunch of trainers, and they had all differing opinions about like the number of reps that I should be doing, the number of sets that I should be doing, the weight that I should be doing in order to achieve a body that I wanted. The best way I could describe it was I want to look good naked, and I kind of want to look like a NFL cornerback. Not quarterback, cornerback, defensive. That's kind of what I was thinking. And then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, I wonder if there's a different solution that somebody's already figured out about how I get what I want in terms of how my body looks. So then I started with this idea, which was I was just going to look up pictures of athletes from different sports and figure out what workouts they did. And that's how I arrived at doing CrossFit for my primary workout, because I was looking at pictures of people that do CrossFit, and I was like, no, that's pretty much a body that I want to have. Like, that's how I want to look. So what do? I just went in and I did CrossFit. I borrowed the solution that was already found for me to get the result that I was looking for. So I know that you probably, from an ego perspective, want to create your own solution, but First, look for somebody else's solution that they already found and apply it to your unique problem. It'll help you solve it a lot quicker and it won't be nearly as expensive. So here's the call to action inside of today's episode. This is the thing I want you to do in the next 24 to 48 hours that will improve your life in one of the primary domains of body, being, balance, or business. And it's really this. It's a question to ask yourself. You can journal on this. You can just answer it. However you want to do it is fine with me, but it matters to me that you do it. And I'm never going to find out, so this is an integrity thing. Like, find out for you. If you do this, you'll know you did it or you didn't do it. Because if you listen to this show, not just this episode, but this entire show, and you just take the one simple action I tell you to take in every single episode, your life is going to transform inside of 6 months, guaranteed. Or I'll continue doing this podcast for you for free until it does. How about that? So here's the question for you guys today. What success pattern can you model to create your own success? This is an existing pattern of success that somebody else has already exhibited. It could be an individual, it could be a company, could be an industry at whole. And how could you model it to get your own success in your life? All right, guys, thanks for listening today. Hey, before you leave, I know I always ask you for something, and if it's a pain in the ass, well, it's a pain in the ass. I'm not really sorry for it because I need your help. I need your help to grow this podcast. This message here is really driven out of a love for progress. My love for everybody's progress. When the tide rises, every single boat rises with it. Tons of people say they want to transform their life. Most people don't. And so I need your help by liking this show, commenting on this show, in whatever platform you are listening to it on. If you're an audio-only listener, give this show a rating and subscribe to this show. If you're watching it on YouTube, then give it a like, give it a comment, subscribe to the channel, because new episodes come out 3 times a week. But more than that, there's going to be somebody who needs to hear this message that is not going to get it simply because the audience hasn't grown enough. I'm not going to advertise on this show. I'm not going to sell my own shit on this show. I do that plenty of other ways. This is purely about helping people just go to war with mediocrity. I want you to help me with that. So please give this a rating, and that would mean the world to me if you would do that. So thank you in advance for taking time to do that. As always, guys, I love it when you guys are here on this show. I'm going to do my job and come back next time, and I want you to do your job and you come back too.